When I get back, I'll have a word with Tom. He's really pissed me off.
Over there! There's one of them vermin! Burn all of you! That's no! Fast!
You must prepare, child, for the earth is bleeding and the harvest is upon us.
Stay away! Whoever you are!
This is no time for petty quarrels, my champion. Can you not hear? The famished queen has awoken.
I am not your champion!
But of course you are, son. As surely as you are the blood of my blood.
I had to kill Mary!
I have known your pain, child. Do not succumb to it.
Silence! I dismiss you, now!
The land calls for a champion. All and everyone needs you.
Silence! I'm tired of all these puppet shows. They want war. I'll show them war.
Whatever this poor woman did, nobody deserves this kind of punishment.
He's dead! Over there!
It's locked, all right. So this is where she lives. What a splendid house.
Dr. Reed, welcome. How are you?
As good as one can be, considering the circumstances.
Yes. Death and affliction seem prevailing themes of late. Please, come in. We have much to discuss.
I hope I haven't disturbed you.
Not at all. Actually, I was counting on you visiting me tonight.
How strange, this painting. Beautiful, melancholic, yet with a haunting dignity.
Indeed. A long time ago, a friend asked me to paint this for him, but I kept it in the end.
I did not know you were a painter, my lady.
There are many things you do not know about me, young Ekon.
Please, call me Jonathan.
Please excuse my behavior, Jonathan. I tend to tease my friends when uneasy.
What is bothering you, my lady? Your letter was quite alarming.
We will talk about this in a few minutes. For now, I would like you to tell me about yourself. How have you been since we last met, my friend?
I came to the conclusion that my maker, whoever he might be, must be a powerful vampire. Certainly extremely old.
How have you reached this conclusion?
I felt this power, radiating like an aura every time he appeared.
Most ancestral vampires of England were killed by the Guard of Prewen half a century ago. I wonder who your maker could be.
You have no idea who he could be?
Some of the ancient ones fled England. Some may still be in hiding. All I know is you, my friend, are a pawn in some secret and obscure game of chess.
He is the only immortal I've seen appear in an ethereal form. His voice, his words seemed ancient. It was disturbing.
I am afraid you are right. The simple fact that your blood made Mary such a strong Ekon proves that you must be of ancient lineage.
My sister Mary, she was made a vampire in the same way I was. She was the one killing all those people everywhere I went.
Vengeance is a powerful force for those betrayed. Made vampire through careless error. Victims by surprise.
In the end, she implored me to put an end to her misery. But still, I felt I had taken her life twice.
I am so sorry for my accidental cruelty. Had I known your dear Mary was still alive, I would never have sent you to pray for her soul in that church.
There is no need to apologize, my lady. Your words have been most helpful in these difficult times.
Thank you, my friend. If only we could have guided your poor sister through her terrible nightmare.
I think I should ask the questions, your ladyship. After all, it was you who invited me to settle this most urgent of matters.
Fair enough, Jonathan. The situation is critical. We do not have the luxury for etiquette.
Please do not misunderstand me. I would be delighted to discuss mundane matters and idle trivialities.
If we survive the dark nights to come, we shall have all the time in the world to speak, you and I. For now, please follow me, Jonathan.
I must say, your house is exquisite.
One of the advantages of living forever is having the time to be selective with one's furnishings. I took the liberty of having tea served.
You can still drink tea.
Can't keep it down, but I do so enjoy the aroma. Let us toast to make-believe. And of course, to your health, Jonathan.
And to yours, my lady.
Please, call me Elizabeth.
So, my lady, why truly did you invite me here?
I've been asked to deliver an official invitation to meet the Ascalon Club.
Should I trust them?
Of course not. Do not misunderstand me. They can be very useful, but I believe their long-term goals differ from yours.
Why meet them then?
Because nothing truly important can be achieved in this city without their consent. They could be powerful allies in this current situation.
Should I lie to them?
We all lie, Jonathan. It falls to you to choose your behavior. The most important rule is to show them due respect.
Why use you to contact me?
Because they know we are close. The Ascalon Club has many spies. Their main occupation is gathering information and then deciding how to use it.
Why not ask for your help? Since you are obviously a powerful and influential immortal yourself.
You have to understand that I am invisible to the eyes of Ascalon, for I am a woman. That suits me well, as long as they leave me alone.
They have done nothing but impede my investigation since I became known to them. Why would they want to see me now?
I guess they now see you as Ascalon material. They must have found out what happened to your sister. Proof of the potent blood flowing through your veins.
I'm not sure I can accept their invitation. I have seen their handiwork. How Fergal the Beast imposed the club's law.
You have no choice, Jonathan. Even I would not openly defy Lord Redgrave, the chairman of the Ascalon Club.
If you are convinced I must meet him, I will heed your advice.
Thank you, Jonathan. I understand your reluctance to brush shoulders with London's vampire elite. But we have no choice.
Is the situation that critical?
Yes. The Guard of Prewen has called for a second great hunt of our kind. And they will stop at nothing to eliminate us.
You should flee then. Leave London, the country even. I have seen the Guard in action. They are merciless.
Your concern warms my heart, Jonathan. But fear not. If the situation gets too dangerous, I shall retreat to my secret Scottish manor. I could hide you in my luggage, if you wish.
Thank you for the offer. I shall keep it in mind, but I have much to do here. There is a question I must ask you. Could Lord Redgrave be my maker?
I doubt it. If Lord Redgrave had made you his progeny, he would not have seemed so surprised when you demonstrated the strength of your lineage.
One day soon, I will have to find the answer to this mystery.
And I shall help you in your research, I promise. For now, you must go to the Ascalon Club and play their game.
Will I see you again at the Pembroke Hospital?
No, you will find me here if you need me. I shall conduct inquiries alone, and we can then share our discoveries.
I want to thank you for all your support and your help, my lady.
Could you do me a last great favor and call me Elizabeth?
I should be honored, my lady.
Then it is settled. Finally, some good news in these dark hours.
Thank you. I appreciate the advice. I had best prepare myself to meet this Lord Redgrave now.
How thrilling to meet the Earl of Bristol in the flesh, so to speak.
Something tells me you're not very keen on the man.
Don't get me wrong. The gentlemen of the Ascalon Club are honorable, but their attitude and opinions are somewhat antiquated.
I see.
As long as they deny access to female applicants, I will leave them to their antediluvian considerations as to the natural order of things. Jonathan, promise me you'll be careful.
Of course. But why the fear in your voice?
Look at me, Jonathan.
I am.
I mean, really look at me, young Ekon. We may be deceptive by nature, but this heart of mine has always told the truth.
Elizabeth.
Go, my friend. But come back to me soon.
So, time to visit the Ascalon Club. I cannot enter. That was the vampire I saw earlier. This war takes no prisoners. The West End. Never have I felt so sad to be back home. The Ascalon Club, the heart of British vampire society. Not quite as subtle as I expected.
Men and women.
Good evening, miss.
Oh my God!
Wait.
Don't worry, Dr. Reed. I know you wouldn't harm me.
Your mother?
My name is Charlotte, sir. Charlotte Ashbury. My mother taught me long ago how to recognize the signs that betray a vampire.
I understand she also taught you how to tease and gently mock innocent young Econs. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Charlotte. Tell me about your adoption.
What do you want to know?
Who are your real parents?
Elizabeth Ashbury is my real mother. She raised me and has taken care of me all my life. I have no idea who my progenitors are or were.
Do you live with her?
I still spend a lot of time in my mother's mansion, but I have my own house now. I have a life to live, you see. And one day, I'll have my death to face.
How did you meet Lady Ashbury?
First, I was an orphan in the institution for girls she manages in the West End.
Did
The co-
what do you?
I would.
You-
To
You-
I sup-
What?
you well
I
all
no.
rip
How,
people she is
have you any?
recently.
Let me guess.
Oh, that would be top notch.
What exactly
Your
does it?
Why?
Yes, you should. I killed my own sister because of the hunger. There comes a time when a mortal is only seen as blood by a vampire, whatever the bonds between them.
You can't be Wait. Good one, Dr. Reed. You almost got me.
Glad you found it amusing.
I will, Dr. Reed.
Do you know why Lady Ashbury?
No, I don't. Each time I...
Do you ever regret that she chose you?
Of course not. Though I...
Goodbye, Charlotte.
She's been quite busy these last few nights.
Good evening, sir.
Come on, Johnny. Don't you recognize your oldest friend?
Clarence. Clarence Crossley. How are you? My God. So you survived the war too. So sorry I didn't recognize you at first.
I almost didn't recognize you either. War does that to men, I heard. In my case, it was true.
When did
You know,
I know of what? How is your but late if you You need some rest. Good evening.
I won't.
Do you need
It's a little.
what can I
hope.
You need some
Where shall I eat tonight?
Good evening, sir. Please forgive me for disturbing you.
I know.
Well,
How,
Oh,
you cannot expect the news.
well, that's news then.
What? I'm up. Is
on.
but so
Did not.
Rick,
I'm a light.
I may have a look at you.
Support the equality between men and women.
do you know where you are standing right now?
In front of the Ascalon Club, I presume.
The Ascalon Club only summons or ostracizes. What is your business tonight?
I received an invitation. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, then, Dr. Reed. Please proceed. Lord Redgrave is waiting on you upstairs.
There has been quite a battle here. I'm sure the Ascalon Club has the money to replace the furniture. It's locked.
Good evening. We repel the intruders for now.
My good friends, if I may have your attention. Behold our visitor, the good Dr. Reed. Newborn of blood so pure and strong that even my friend Fergal Bancher was no match for him.
Here, here, here.
Come forward, young Ekon, for we have so much to discuss. Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. I am Lord Redgrave, Earl of Bristol and chairman of this exclusive association.
Lord Redgrave.
At last we meet. I've been eager to make your acquaintance. I've heard some astounding things about you. Please accept my condolences for your loss, Dr. Reed.
Thank you, my lord. Lady Ashbury expressed your wish to meet me.
Yes. The lady has always been a useful acquaintance, though not always reliable. Is she a good friend of yours?
She has proved to be helpful on many occasions.
The centuries have taught me never to trust a woman completely, especially if she is a mortal. Too prone to emotions, if you ask me. Too fickle when it comes to important decisions.
My lord, do not expect me to speak ill of Lady Ashbury.
Of course not, and I praise your loyalty. Would you offer the same fidelity to the Empire?
What do you mean?
I speak of the Skull Plague that threatens London and the country. You have been on the front line in the East End, but the time has come to open up a second front here.
The epidemic has escaped the quarantine. You have new cases of the outbreak.
We don't know for certain, but we cannot allow the disease to threaten the prominent heads of Great Britain.
Why do you suddenly need me?
The Ascalon Club only recruits the best, and you definitely fit the bill. Your scientific and medical reputation alone would qualify you as a candidate.
You want me to find possible sources of the outbreak in the West End. Is that it?
Ah, straight to the point, like all eager newborns. We shall have time to talk about all this, Dr. Reed, but first, I should like to get to know you better.
Talk? Is that the only reason you asked me here?
Well, no. I also wanted to meet the intriguing Ekon who made such a powerful progeny of his sister. You have not learned the name of your maker, am I correct?
No, I haven't.
Have no embarrassment, Dr. Reed. We all make mistakes. But whatever your lineage, you are definitely Ascalon material.
What do you mean?
I would like you to become a member of the Ascalon Club, and to serve me as such.
I agree to join the club.
This is good news. Good news indeed in these crucial times. Let's inform the Assembly formally and proceed with your initiation.
My initiation?
Fear not. Nothing fancy nor dangerous. It is just that we, the members of Ascalon, believe that tradition and custom are the backbone of this country. My fellow members, dear friends, please gather and welcome this Ekon as one of our own.
Is he worthy? Is his blood pure?
Well, speak, Dr. Reed, in front of the most sacred blood. The blood of our beloved William Marshall. Speak now. Will you serve and protect the crown as he did?
Yes, I will.
Then, young Ekon, it is time to testify with your blood. It is time to sign the Book of Allegiance. I know it's awfully gothic and a tad pedantic, but England's traditions are the backbone of our nation. Delightful. Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. Take your place among the bearers of the lance.
One of us! One of us!
That went well, did it not? It is always useful to bolster the troops' morale, especially before a difficult battle.
You have the makings of a general, my lord.
I was, though very long ago, well, not quite a general, but a proud defender of the crown.
So why did you really want to meet me?
Straight to the point again, young Ekon. All right, let's talk, you and I, Lance Sparrow.
I'm listening, my lord.
According to my spies, you have worked with Dr. Edgar Swansea on the epidemic, and your findings were quite alarming.
Yes, I'm convinced the recent invasion of frenzied Scals in London is directly linked to the epidemic. This is not the Spanish flu, but something else.
I would be glad to hear more of your discoveries, Dr. Reed, but for now, my main concern is the security of London's inhabitants, both mortal and immortal.
What do you mean?
Alarmed by the epidemic, the Guard of Prewen has started a war against us British vampires. To appease the situation, we must eradicate the Scals.
I have met peaceful and wise Scals. To exterminate them means we are no better than vampire hunters.
Scals are hideous, shameful creatures that give all Ekon a bad name.
So, what do you want me to do?
I want you to investigate the city thoroughly. I have reason to fear there are cases of contagion in this part of town. Our absolute priority is to find and cleanse them.
And how would you like me to proceed?
By all means necessary, Dr. Reed. You are now a member of the Ascalon Club and you have carte blanche. Interrogate the locals, follow all the leads you find, and get results.
He wants, but I won't put a foot outside until the Prewen end their hunt.
I think Lord Redgrave just suggested I was sired by an ancient vampire. Why are vampire hunters sniffing around here? I need to find out what they're after.
He's mine! Take it! The beast must... Christ, she's dead!
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Have you noticed anything unusual?
Not really. Wait, now that you mention it, I don't see the McPhersons in my favorite restaurants. They love delicate meals too, you understand.
Thank you.
They have a house in the southern part of the district.
Goodbye.
Support the equality between men and women!
Good evening, Miss Anne.
And good evening.
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district.
A few days ago, I spotted a strange house.
Where is it?
It's the Mulaney's.
Goodbye.
She's been quite busy.
That building is under quarantine. Could this be what I'm looking for? It's locked, all right.
Liar, coward, you brought this on us.
You infected the whole family! I said I...
I've never seen such a radical mutation. Could it be a new stage in the disease's evolution? So the husband had an affair with Doris Fletcher.
Women die too in this war! Women of all countries unite!
Good evening, miss.
I am Karina Billow.
Miss, you don't...
No, it's me who bites them.
I'm investigating the sword.
Infection.
And where is this house?
West of the park. Not very far.
What happened to you?
The rats. The answer hides in their little crunchy bones. Their juicy...
Miss Billow, please.
The voice in my head.
Do you feel compelled to obey that voice, Miss Billow? Even if you're loath to submit to it?
Yes.
Tell me about the...
Keep your mouth shut, he said. Don't ever speak about me or I'll abandon you. Help me, please, Doctor.
Tell me about yourself, Miss Billow. What do you do for a living?
Oh, I'm hungry.
Don't you remember who you are, miss?
I was strong.
What is the local news?
Shadows.
I must go now. He had his tongue removed and his eyes gouged out. He was a victim of brutal torture. This one's neck is broken. He was young. Probably the son.
You thought I was dead too, didn't you? No, I was just pretending. Doris told me I could have been a great actress.
You killed your family.
They mocked my talent.
So, this girl took lessons at the famous Doris Fletcher acting school. Doris Fletcher seems to be the missing link here. It can't just be a coincidence. I should go to her acting school. I cannot enter.
Steady, boys! It's done!
There's an open window on the second floor. I should be able to get in through that.
Woe to you, nations of hypocrites. For in front of you stands the tall queen.
Can that be Doris Fletcher's voice? Where does it come from? It's locked, all right.
I knew her well, and many can testify to her kindness and beauty. For now she hides in shadow, ugly as sin. But when you burn and die, she rise and be queen again. Will they adore me again when they step?
It's locked.
Who are you? You who dared enter my realm. Are you here to worship or mock me?
I'm here to put an end to the vampire epidemic, Miss Fletcher.
Ah. But Doris Fletcher is no more. She was consumed by this putrid flesh that now enshrouds her.
You feel anger for what happened to you, but I can help you. I'm a doctor, Miss Fletcher.
Doris Fletcher is no more. All that remains are the dreams of the queen she was, and the queen she'll be. Until then, all shall die, for that was her final wish. You killed Arise and saved your queen, my slaves. Behold, Kinslayer, the disgrace of she was once now. Will she be the queen again once they all share her fate? Wait. I beg you, wait.
What?
I don't want to die.
And I did not come to kill you, Miss Fletcher.
Will you spare me then? Save this cadaverous carcass of mine. Does your heart beat a little faster now? You fancy me then, Doctor?
No, Miss Fletcher. My dead heart will beat for only one.
Ah! Is she pretty? Is she sweet and tender?
To me, yes.
Ah! I hate her already.
I know. And this is partly why you must be destroyed.
But you just said...
That I did not come here to kill you, yes. But I realize now the threat you embody must be stopped.
Will I be remembered? Will you?
You were Doris Fletcher, the greatest actress of her generation. No one can take that from you.
Thank you. And farewell.
Farewell, Doris.
Bravo! So dramatic. I love it.
McCullum!
How strange I seem to find you whenever I'm inquiring about that Skal infestation.
I mean you no harm.
I'm not here for you. But once I put all the pieces of the puzzle together, I'm sure we'll have a little chat, you and me.
Stay away from me, McCullum. You and all your war dogs.
That I can't guarantee, Dr. Reed. But I'll let you go. For now.
I should probably leave the theater right now. The West End should be safe now. But London is not. It would be wise to benefit from the Ascalon's protection while I continue my research during the Great Hunt.
These people want me dead. I need to leave now. So Doris just needed to be close to her audience to infect them. Contagion through skin. Very disturbing.
Your father and I have spoken about your fiancé, Mary. We believe he'll be an honorable husband for you. We'll set a date for the marriage then. That way, I'm sure one of my children will give me grandchildren. I understand your thirst for knowledge, Jonathan, and your father and I are proud of it. But you are not that young anymore, my son. When will I meet your soulmate? You can ascribe my romantic tendencies to my French origins if you want, Aubrey. But I'll never cease to believe in a match made in heaven, my beloved.
I really wish you could meet her, Mother. You would love her. Mother, good evening.
Jonathan!
I'm right here, Mother.
Yes, for this son of mine was dead.
Mary.
I know she's gone. The question is, when will she return as you have? I miss my grandson so much.
Why do you say Mary is visiting you, Mother?
Why should it be? Are you not standing in front of me right now? Why should it be any different with your sister?
But Mary really is dead, Mother.
Yes. And are you not dead too? Isn't your father dead? And my grandson? And my son-in-law? You're all gone. But you all still visit me from time to time.
But I'm not dead, Mother.
Oh, it breaks my heart to have to tell you this. But of course you're dead, my darling boy. Just look at you, as pale as my Mary.
Do you really see Mary?
Yes. For many years it was just a game. Since your father left us without a word, I took to the habit of speaking to him.
Yes, I remember.
Yes, it was. But since then, my poor dead Mary visited me in my room. She led me to her grave, and there you were. I now know the dead can haunt us.
I'm so sorry. You did not deserve to...
That's true, my son. But you know what the worst part is? I liked it when Mary spoke in my head. Now she is silent, and it makes me so sad.
Should I leave you alone? Just ask, and I swear you'll never hear from me again.
Oh, no, Johnny. You're always welcome in this house. And one day, when I finally die, we'll all be together again, just as Mary promised us.
Have you returned?
I never want to go back to that...
It was just a bad...
A nightmare, yeah.
Mother.
Not really.
What do you mean you get...
Of course not.
Do you need anything, Mother?
I just want you to stay with me, John.
I'll stay as long as I can.
Just one thing. Stop staring at me like that. As much as I love you, it breaks my heart to look at those empty and dead eyes.
Are you working on a new painting?
Not recently. I have trouble focusing on my subject, and my mind quickly drifts. It's the same thing when I try to write poetry.
I recently met a talent.
I'd be glad to meet her. What?
She's not famous, and her name...
The important thing is, I hope you two get along. If she ever fancies meeting your mother, I'd be glad to welcome her into my home.
Goodbye, Mother.
Goodbye, son.
I remember Sunday walks in the park. Good evening, Avery.
Mr. Jonathan? I can't believe my own eyes. Oh, it's a miracle. We all thought you were... Oh, sir, your poor sister. What a tragedy.
I know, Avery. I know about my sister's murder.
Miss Reed expected you to
How it...
Not
the police?
Miss Reed was found walking in the streets.
Has she...
I'm taking...
Perhaps...
I'm afraid...
What is the situation?
For a time...
Have you no relatives?
Your father managed to guarantee my earnings as... Your mother...
to be present at the funeral.
I would not dare...
Do you know my...
Yes. I sometimes...
So she thinks I'm also...
I believe she only sees her relatives...
I am powerless to help her.
But you are still alive, Mr. Jonathan. That's the difference. And I am sure Miss Reed will realize it soon.
Tell me the truth, Avery. Do you feel forced to stay here? Would you leave this house?
No, sir. I have nowhere else to go.
This house is dead.
If only you could have been here sooner.
You have served this family extremely well, Avery.
Then I will stay.
Do you really think I don't...
Yes, I do.
You clearly have something more to...
I know you work hard to help the sick, but...
My home is here.
That's good news. Whatever...
I found an old...
Your father wanted me to give you this letter.
I realize now you knew my father better than I did.
No, sir. Mr. Reed was not exactly forthcoming.
Goodbye.
Of course.
Are you all right, miss?
Who are you? What do you want from me?
My name is Jonathan Reed. I'm a doctor.
I'm Louise Teasdale. I was kidnapped.
I believe you, Miss Teasdale.
That monster told me my father was dead.
You're safe now. You don't have to worry about the vampire. You should...
Thank you, sir. I hope we'll meet again soon.
Goodbye.
Good evening, sir. May I ask you what you're doing here at this late hour?
I'm conducting an
And who are you?
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
I'm Detective Inspector Charles Albright from Scotland Yard. And I don't find your answers convincing. What is a Pembroke doctor doing in the West End at this time of night?
I work for the Ascalon Club. Here is my permit to go freely about the city.
The Ascalon Club? You should have said so, sir. I must warn you, these streets are dangerous, and you'd better be careful.
What?
I'm the one.
What killer?
I'm not going to discuss...
Haven't I told you?
All right, without giving...
And what?
We both...
Why are you...
Criminals rarely act in...
No.
All right.
What are you really...
I told you.
Do you...
Yes.
What about...
I know.
Tell them how could differ...
That's my man.
What are you in...
I currently have a few missing persons cases.
Tell me about...
She's a waitress. Her father reported her missing.
Do you have any idea?
No.
Tell me about...
Mr. Kimura is...
Where was he last...
Mr. Kimura was...
Goodbye, Detective Inspector Albright.
Goodbye, Dr. Jonathan Reed.
I hope you can stay a little longer this time.
Good evening, Miss Price.
Dr. Reed, I didn't know you had returned from the war.
Always glad to see a former patient in good condition.
Too long indeed.
What can you...
I'm still...
Really?
Don't get me...
Tell me...
Who would... Other...
Does you...
Have you...
So you're...
Some things... She does... Maybe...
May I look...
It's always a... Dr. Reed, I am glad to see you again.
Please, sir. Can't let you through.
Good evening, sir.
Dr. Reed?
Is there anything wrong?
No, it's just...
I think I would remember.
That's odd. I'm certain I've already heard of you.
I'm afraid not, sir. But it's a pleasure to meet you anyway.
The pleasure is mine, I get...
Tell me, and why?
Because we need...
Why do you want to...
I'm not really...
Can you please?
Do you... Yes.
But what...
Do we ever...
And what do you...
I stop... But does it...
Tell me...
I just...
But why would you need...
Well...
Goodbye.
Jonathan Reed. At last we meet.
I beg your pardon.
Of course you do.
You are the leader of the Brotherhood.
Primate of the Brotherhood of...
The cards told you to.
Yes, they can tell me.
What? So...
Oh.
No.
You...
Can... Yes, I...
It will cost you 100...
Here.
The Hunter.
Can you read...
Put the money on the table.
Perhaps... Tell me about yourself.
I'm for most...
Some believe you to be...
Guard of Priwen. Who else?
Did they steal anything?
A personal note.
Do you want your note?
If you ever find it, I'd be glad.
Perhaps...
It was 50...
What do you make?
Edgar is a...
How did you learn about Mary?
Swansea told me. Don't...
Mary did not deserve her fate.
Suffering is part of the immortal condition.
How do you measure the amount of blood on my hands?
I told you.
Is it possible to tell me my future?
A vampire's fate is much more delicate.
All right.
Your heart will bleed back all the blood you drank, but it will not put out the fire your treachery has lit.
May I ask?
Of course, but
I know there is no love.
It was 1801. The Brotherhood was stronger then.
What was the nature?
The problem was that both sides considered...
Who found?
That's precisely...
So you're...
Once upon...
How do you...
I told you.
Is it
Vampire...
I would rather... Goodbye, sir.
I read A Red River, A Song in the Dark, The Whispers of the
It's
Sun.
locked, all right.
So many signs to interpret.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, please. Would you...
That's all you need.
Well, is it not important?
I suppose you're right.
I am Agamemnon Baker.
May
Odd.
you must...
From what
May
I...
What?
It's the...
Why is that?
Because
I still enjoy living.
Then I am sincerely happy for you.
What can you...
He's old.
Is that all?
Pericles is very attached.
Who...
The more I think about it...
But what else could it be, then?
I don't know. At least it will give...
I'm afraid...
Have you ever felt like...
Goodbye. Good evening. Pericles, tell me...
Agamemnon is... naive.
At least you both have the same...
But is that not a common problem for...
What can you...
If you are searching for a pleasant chat...
That's it?
For the time being, true kindness...
Goodbye, Miss...
Hello.
Goodbye.
Watch out! Die, Vermin!
This is Braille. I need someone who can read this.
Get them weapons ready! We found one!
Women's right to vote is only the first step.
Welcome back, Dr. Reed.
Elizabeth, what are you doing here?
I've been formally asked to witness your triumph, my dear. After all, isn't it the natural role of a woman to support her man in victory?
But it's you who insisted I join the Ascalon.
Please forgive my giddiness. I'm just overcome by the thrill of finally being allowed within these hallowed halls.
You certainly have an inquisitive mind. It's quite something. Elizabeth Ashbury, only you can make me smile in these difficult times.
And the same to you, Jonathan Reed. Now go have your little chat with the chairman. I can see he's practically bursting to hear your report. We'll talk later.
Perhaps we should change some of the club's rules if we survive.
Welcome back to the Ascalon Club, Lance-Bearer. Please tell us the good news. Have you put an end to the epidemic?
My hypothesis was correct. Doris Fletcher was the source of the contagion in this part of town. She was probably the first to be infected.
And you cleansed her before the hunters, I've been told. Well done, Dr. Reed. You thrust your lance and pierced the very heart of the corruption.
I did my best.
The important thing is, we won a major battle for the survival of London. For that, we salute you.
Thank you, my lord.
Now, I have another task for you. One of the utmost importance. Perhaps even more so than the previous.
I'm listening.
It's time for you to perform a most sacred duty for the club. I want you to recruit a new vampire.
Recruit a new vampire? Are you sending me on some sort of diplomatic mission?
Not exactly. I want you to make Aloysius Dawson the Ekon he deserves to be.
As you wish, my lord.
Good. Now go.
How would you like me to proceed?
Aloysius is waiting for you at the Dawson estate. Once the deed is done, I'll join you there to celebrate this momentous occasion.
Your word is my command.
Are you all right, Jonathan?
Lord Redgrave has just ordered me to turn Aloysius Dawson, to make him my progeny.
I see. And how do you feel about this?
I'd like your advice on the matter.
The real question here is, why has his lordship given you this task?
Do you think it's some sort of trap?
Do you really want to know what I think about this?
I do, yes.
To make an immortal of a soulless blackguard like Aloysius Dawson will only lead to a disaster for London. The man is already dead inside.
Should I refuse? Perhaps politely suggest that Lord Redgrave turn the man into a vampire himself.
Don't you dare, my dear. According to what I've recently discovered, his lordship could kill you for even broaching the subject.
Really? Why?
I've recently found proof that the Earl of Bristol is of lesser lineage and only capable of creating skulls.
Please, tell me more.
As long as you...
Are you sure your information about Redgrave is correct? He says he's the progeny of the great knight William Marshall, who lived some 9 centuries ago.
That's a lie. Lord Redgrave is unable to create anything but skulls, if the poor souls survive at all.
How can you be sure the
I made the acquaintance of a most interesting informer while investigating your maker, from whom I learned the truth about Lord Redgrave.
Why so vindictive? You suddenly sound like you're angry.
Forgive me, Jonathan. I hate myself for it, but I feel such pride in my discovery. I'm afraid I just can't help it.
Which is?
He did serve William Marshall. And yes, the blood he covets as a token does truly belong to that legendary knight. But he was never his progeny. His lineage is not so noble.
Goodbye for now, Elizabeth.
Goodbye, my dear. Please, be careful.
It looks like vampires have to obey Mendel's laws when producing progeny. Powers pass from one generation to another. That's why Dawson wants me to sire him.
Women of all countries unite!
Problems. As long as you have the money. Good evening.
How is this?
When people buy guns instead of medication, it means they have already
You look ill. Well, there you...
Thank you.
Goodbye.
End up another drunk arsehole littering the streets. Not me.
How are you?
I'm not your boy. I'm ready for it.
Goodbye.
Good evening.
I'm afraid not.
A gun?
Will be the answer to all your problems. As long as you
Good evening, Zhao Shu.
晚上好, Dr. Reed.
What are you doing with your time?
I've decided to help the poor and sick.
That's very charitable.
I've noticed that the...
Giving out medicine.
I am a rich widow, Dr. Reed.
Why don't you...
I thought about it, I confess.
Why stay here?
I am a woman of habit.
How do you feel now that...
I've decided to follow your...
Try not to lose yourself.
To be completely honest with you.
Do you...
Of course I do.
I know what you mean.
Maybe death will take me the way it took Matthew.
How do you feel?
I don't...
You should...
Thank you.
Good.
I'm so sorry.
Good evening. Are you living...
And why not?
What?
I don't know.
What? What?
Stop. Yeah.
I heard...
Everything was good.
I regret it too.
So you put an end to...
You seem to have a lot.
I heard you are a famous surgeon.
I didn't use drugs or medical trickery.
But what happened to her then?
Tell me everything you know about Camellia.
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor, but I'm almost convinced Camellia is an angel. She volunteered.
Goodbye.
It's not my call, Barrett. You again?
Can I offer you?
Keep your med...
There is a...
All right.
Goodbye.
Fancy...
You never... Do you need...
To be honest...
I don't really. Goodbye.
Soon the time will come when you will...
Good evening.
His father would...
Don't you...
Faith.
No doubt. Good evening, Christian.
Change your...
Good.
Good evening, Doc.
How are...
I always thought it was my role to reveal what really happens in these forgotten parts of London.
And you're not sure anymore?
Emptied coffins, cannibalism, walking dead. I'm trying to report the truth about what's going on, but no one believes it anymore.
Good.
Still want more from Christina?
When we spent the night together, my wallet went missing.
Are you calling me a thief? I don't have your stupid wallet.
I know you. You're a nice girl. Can't we solve this amicably?
No, I don't think so. And if you think you know me just because we shared the bed together, you're just a lousy and arrogant journalist.
Good evening.
Tell me, Clayton.
Christina. Yes, I recently met her. A nice girl, despite her questionable conduct.
How exactly?
During my investigation, I offered...
And?
The next morning, my wallet and my watch had disappeared. I can't really be...
Was it wise to become so intimate with a woman you were supposed to interview, Clayton?
Maybe it was. But I have learned to look for the inner truth and beauty in people.
You're right. I know little of your situation. What can you tell me about Christina?
She is very sensitive. So nostalgic about her country. I saw her cry once because she'd lost a precious souvenir from her homeland.
What was it?
A scarf her brother gave her before she came to England.
Why are you so concerned? You seem to have something on your mind, Mr. Darby.
That we could make peace if I could find it and give it back to her. But I'm afraid she lost the scarf somewhere during her night shift.
Goodbye. Good evening.
Change your...
Did you steal?
Of course I stole it. But I never thought he would come back to look for it.
Why did you do it? He seems to trust you.
For a time I thought he was different from other men. In the end, he just wanted to sleep with me. Same as the others.
Perhaps Clayton is different. Maybe you two should talk. A conversation couldn't hurt.
I know what I am and what people call me. I sleep with men for money. If I can accept that, why can't he? No. My future is with the ones I love, not with Clayton Darby.
The ones you love? The money you stole is not for you, then?
My brother is still in our hometown in Romania. I am the only one who can buy him a ticket to England.
Tell me, Christina.
He's the only family I have left.
I understand your concern.
Every time I write to him, I fear I won't receive an answer.
England is perhaps not the best place.
You think you know it all because you fought in the war.
I know. We all understand the risks to soldiers, but we don't necessarily recognize the civilian casualties.
Yes, wars are decided by rich men.
Does your brother know?
Don't be simple, of course not.
Goodbye.
Good evening, Doctor.
I found this scarf.
Dr. Reed, I may be a humble and dogged reporter, but I recognize a gentleman when I see one. Take this for your trouble.
Mr. Darby, I believe your feelings for Christina are deeper than you might admit.
I'm the journalist here. I'm the one who makes assertions.
But as a journalist, you also have to honor the truth. So, what is the truth about you and Christina?
I won't use the word romance, but yes, I do care for her. A lot. I hope the feeling is mutual. Ridiculous, is it not?
I believe love has neither boundaries nor rules, Mr. Darby, even if society says the opposite.
I hope more people will listen to your advice, Doctor. Starting with Christina.
Do you know that Christina is hoping to pay for her brother?
I see.
Do you believe she will?
As long as the war rages in Europe, I'm afraid her chances of seeing her brother again are slim to none.
Goodbye. Good evening, Chris.
Change your mind?
Clayton's feelings towards you are romantic and serious. Is this feeling mutual, Christina?
That is the least of my concerns, Dr. Reed. Perhaps Clayton has time to think about these things, but I don't.
If you had time to question your heart, what would it say?
That men are pigs. But it doesn't bother me as long as they pay.
Goodbye. Good evening, Mr. Nethercott.
And good evening to you too, my good sir. Can I be of any help?
Do you need medical attention, sir?
It may be wise to let you prescribe me something. I don't feel like I should.
I understand your appetite for words and macabre beauty, sir. But you should be more careful.
The nutrition of my mind is more important than my physical health. But I appreciate your concern, sir.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
It's ready! We found one! Over there! There's one of them vermin!
Good evening, sir. It's me again. It cannot be safe for...
Well, a voice never lies, and yours clearly is the voice of a gentleman. All right, Doctor, come on in. Tell me, how do you see the world these days? What kind of gentleman pays visits to people at this late hour?
It's locked.
So what is the name of my nocturnal visitor?
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Dr. Reed? The eminent surgeon? My God, I'd never have expected a brilliant physician like you to knock on my door.
You flatter me, sir.
No, sir, I am flattered. I read all your work when I still had my sight. I loved it. I'm Mason Swanborough, by the way.
Do you know Braille?
I'm no expert, but I learned it in my spare time.
I found a strange document entitled Cure for Blindness.
Really? Is that some kind of sick joke?
Here it is. Could it be of any use to you?
No. This page is just a...
I found another page of...
This diary is still not complete.
Really? I've heard of it.
I would need more pages to fit...
And what else?
I know...
Yes.
Yes,
Does...
My...
Do you not...
Loretta is the best...
Where does...
Well, let's...
What's so amusing?
I won't hide the truth from you.
Goodbye, Mr.
What kind of gentleman pays visits to people at this late hour?
Good evening, Mr. Swanborough.
Is it you? What kind of gentleman pays visits to people at this late hour? What can I...
You seem
Actually, yes, thank you.
Goodbye.